The history of British exploration and settlement in North America, the mysteries of Thanksgiving. The history of North America, especially the British colonization process, is a long and dramatic tale filled with adventures, challenges, and dreams of freedom and wealth. Throughout this journey, Thanksgiving has become a crucial part of American cultural traditions, deeply marked by the encounters between the British settlers and native tribes. However, to truly understand the origins and events behind Thanksgiving, we must look into the early journeys of the British to North America, as well as the social, economic, and cultural consequences they left behind. 1. The first British settlers at Jamestown, Virginia. In 1607, the first group of British settlers arrived in North America and established their first settlement at Jamestown, Virginia, funded by the London Company, a British trade company. The initial goal of the settlement was not to seek religious freedom, but to exploit natural resources and find opportunities for wealth. The settlers and crew faced numerous harsh challenges upon arrival, including unfavorable weather, famine, disease, and attacks from native tribes. More than half of the population perished during the first year due to these severe conditions. However, one key factor that helped the community survive was the development of the headright system, where each settler could receive a parcel of land if they agreed to bring more people. This led to the rapid growth of tobacco plantations and, at the same time, to the harsh forms of labor, including the use of slaves and indentured servants. The turning point with the arrival of African slaves. In 1619, a significant event occurred in Jamestown. The first African slaves were brought to the colony aboard a Dutch slave ship. These slaves began working on the tobacco plantations, marking the beginning of African slavery in the British colonies of North America. This was a pivotal moment in Jamestown's history and the start of the slavery system, which would have a profound impact on the economy and society for centuries to come. Though these slaves were not considered citizens and had no rights, they played a crucial role in building the agricultural economy of Virginia. In fact, the tobacco plantations could only thrive thanks to the cheap labor provided by these slaves. However, this system of slavery left a deep mark on American society and led to ongoing struggles for freedom and equality in the years to come. Tobacco and Virginia's prosperity. As tobacco became the main product of Jamestown, the economy of the region began to prosper, despite King James I criticizing and banning tobacco use. It quickly became an important export, contributing to the region's economic growth. This not only brought wealth to landowners but also spurred the development of plantations and trade cities, enriching Virginia's culture and society. However, this wealth also led to deep inequality, as power was concentrated in the hands of landowners while most labor came from slaves and lower-class workers. 2. The Pilgrims and Thanksgiving. While Jamestown represented an economic settlement, groups like the Pilgrims and Puritans came to North America with a different goal: to seek religious freedom. The Pilgrims, a group of Puritan believers, faced religious persecution in England, and they decided to find a place where they could freely practice their faith. In 1620, they set sail from England on a ship called the Mayflower, hoping to find a new land where they could live according to their beliefs without fear of persecution. The Pilgrims' journey. Upon arrival, they faced a harsh winter. The Mayflower, unable to reach suitable lands, docked at Plymouth, a place that was unprepared and lacked resources. In the first months, nearly half of them died from the cold and lack of food. However, a significant turning point occurred when they received help from the Native Americans, especially Squanto, a Native American from the Wampanoag tribe. Squanto taught them how to grow corn and hunt, helping the Pilgrims survive the initial hardships. The birth of Thanksgiving. After overcoming their struggles, the Pilgrims held a great feast to give thanks. inviting the Native Americans to join them. This event is considered the origin of the Thanksgiving holiday as we know it today. The feast included traditional English foods such as pork, chicken, and vegetables, as well as Native American dishes like corn, nuts, and venison. It was a celebration to honor the help given by the Native Americans and the beginning of a community of cooperation. Although later relations between the white settlers and the Native Americans would become more complicated and tense. 3. Social classes and characteristics of the colonies. Although the Pilgrims and Puritans achieved their religious goals, the reality of life in New England was not entirely one of freedom and equality as they had hoped. In the Massachusetts Bay Colony, one of the prominent Puritan settlements, society was organized under strict principles, with the church playing a central role. Those who disagreed with the religious principles of this community were expelled or oppressed. Art and new culture. One important aspect that cannot be overlooked is the development of culture and the arts in these colonies. The settlers not only brought religious values but also ideas about art, literature, and science. The establishment of schools, churches, and academic centers contributed to the creation of a new culture, a blending of old values and new discoveries from the New World. 4. From religious freedom to social division. While the Pilgrims and Puritans had ideals of religious freedom, the society they built was not as equal and free as they had envisioned. Women, non-church members, and Native Americans had no say in important decisions. This led to tensions and disputes within the community, especially as more settlers with different values arrived. The British colonization of North America is not just a story of religious freedom, but also of the development of the economy, society, and culture of a nation in the making. The difficult journeys, the facing of challenges, and the help from native tribes laid the foundation for the growth of the United States. Thanksgiving, from an initial event of simply giving thanks, has become a symbol of cooperation, unity, and gratitude in American culture. Although the values of freedom and equality that the British settlers brought with them were not fully realized, the stories of the Pilgrims, the struggles for religious freedom, and the development of a strong economy all contributed to the creation of a diverse and complex United States.